Now, before we begin, I need to point out that there are many variations of Monopoly. If you've got a franchise or a cool city, it seems like the best thing to do is make a Monopoly game out of it. And we're not going to be paying attention to any of these, we're going to be sticking with basic Monopoly. If you're looking for the exact version, check this video out, it's in the description. The game of Monopoly is about as classic as board games get. On the edge of the board, there's a track where players move their tokens, and they visit different properties and buy them. To start things off, each player chooses a token to represent them on the board. Next, each player is dealt out $1,500, and that's broken down into 5 ones, 1 5, 2 10s, 1 20, 1 50, 4 100s, and 2 500s. There are also 3 decks of cards for the game. There's the chance cards, there's the community chest cards, and then there are the cards for the deeds for the properties around the board. Once you've decided who goes first, they take the dice and roll both of them, and then move the number of spaces shown on the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like our first player has landed on Oriental Avenue, which costs $100. Now they have a choice. They can buy Oriental Avenue for $100, or they can put it up for auction. The player decides, 100? Yeah, I can afford that. And so he shells out $100, which goes into the bank, and gains the Oriental Avenue card. Now usually it would be the next player's turn, but this player rolled doubles, so they get to roll again. This time they land on St. James Place, which once again, they have the option of buying it or putting it up for auction. This property goes for $180, which is a lot, so this time the player decides to put it up for auction instead of buying it. When a property goes up for auction, this means that all the players have a chance to bid on it, including the player that said they didn't want to buy it in the first place. The bidding starts at $10, and it goes from there. In the end, the player that bid the most money wins the property, and the proceeds go straight into the bank. Next up, it's the kitty cat's turn, so they're gonna roll the dice and see where they land. Looks like she landed on a chance zone, which means she draws a chance card. When drawing a chance card or a community chest card, you read the card and do what it says. In this case, the cat is told to go all the way around the board to Boardwalk, and so she does. Next up, it's the top hat's turn, and he's gonna roll the dice and land on income tax, which requires him to pay $200 straight to the bank. Better luck next time. But he rolled doubles to land there, so he gets to go again, and let's see where he ends up. That's another double, and it's 2 6s, so he's gonna go straight to St. James Place, which is already owned by the cat. This means he owes the cat some money. When you land on another player's property, they take a look at the property card and see how much the rent is. Since the cat hasn't built any buildings on this property, nor does she have any of the other oranges, the rent is only $14. The top hat pays the cat, and the game continues. Now of course you're going to want to charge more than just $14 when a player lands on your space, and that's why you want to collect all of the same color. When you do that, that boosts up the rent, but it also allows you to build buildings on your properties. To build a house on your property, what you want to do is take a look at the bottom of your property card. There you'll find the price. Just pay the bank that amount, and then you can take one of the house tokens and place it on one of your properties, provided, once again, that you own all of the properties of that color. If you find yourself in a bit of a pinch, you can also sell your buildings for half the price that you paid for them. In fact, if you're going to be selling property to other players, you're going to have to sell the buildings on that property before the property exchanges hands. So when it comes to putting buildings on your property, houses are really nice. They raise the rent a little, but if you want to make some big bucks, make way for hotels. Hotels bring the prices way up, but they come with a cost. You have to build on a property with 4 houses on it, and when you build the hotel, the houses go away. Now there are 2 other kinds of properties that you can buy that don't charge rent in the same way. You can't build houses or hotels on them. Instead, it really depends on how many of that type of card you own. First up, let's talk about railroads. There are 4 of them on the board, and the more railroads you own, the higher the rent is when another player lands on them. Next up are the utilities companies, and owning 1 is good, but owning 2 makes for a huge profit, so they are very valuable. Now, there are a couple spaces that don't actually do anything when you land on them, like free parking. That's just a safe place where you don't have to pay rent. And though the jail space looks scary, it's not really a problem if you rolled and land on it. You're just visiting, and it's just another place where you don't have to pay rent. No, the trouble starts when you land on the go to jail space. That sends you straight to jail, and you are stuck there losing 3 turns unless you pay a $50 fine or you manage to roll a double on your turn. After your 3rd roll, however, you have to pay the $50. One good thing to know though is while you're in jail, you can still gain rent and sell and build on property. And last but not least, it's everyone's favorite space, the go space. Every time you pass, you get $200. It's also where everyone starts at the beginning of the game, and it's a safe place to land. You don't have to pay anyone rent while landing on that space. Now, the game has gone on for a while, and Miss Kitty is finding herself in financial trouble. She has no money, she just has St. James Place. And so what she can do is she can mortgage this property. To mortgage your property, all you have to do is flip over the card. Once you do that, you gain the amount of money that is displayed there. This might seem like easy money, but keep in mind that you can't have any buildings on any of the properties that are the same color as the mortgaged property. You have to sell them before you can mortgage the property. This building ban remains in effect until all of the mortgaged properties of that color are repaid. The amount you have to pay is on the card. Next, it's Miss Kitty's turn, and she goes around the board and comes to Oriental Avenue. Ouch, there's a hotel there, and according to our card, that means she owes us $550. And we all know that Miss Kitty cannot afford that. She only has $90 and her mortgaged property. But rules are rules, so she's gonna have to give us all of her money and her property, and she's out of the game. The last player with property and money wins the game. And that's how you play Monopoly. It's cutthroat, it can take forever, but it's really fun. And until next time, this is Hogwash, over and out, catch you later.